Hello. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hi.
All right. We are talking about Web3 and AI on the stage. I hope that everyone is not AI'd out. There have been a lot of conversations about AI over the past 2 days, but I'm really excited to hear both of your perspectives on this. I'm Jen Sanasi. I'm a news anchor at CoinDesk. I'm joined today by Jaime Leverton, the CEO of Hut 8 Mining, and Tiago Cesar, the CEO of Transfero. So thank you both for sitting down with me. My first question is, we talk about AI, we're now talking about the convergence with Web3. Is this just hype? I feel like we're one buzzword away from just creating a confusing situation for everyone.
I don't think it's hype. Obviously, there's a ton of excitement around AI. Right now, we often see in crypto these phases of intense excitement. And they kind of ebb and flow. I think very much, though, I'll take a quick step back. So Hut 8 is the name of our company, which is a reference to Bletchley Park, the hut number that Alan Turing worked in during World War II, and he built a machine called the bomb machine that was responsible for cracking the Enigma code, and ultimately that cryptography formed the basis of what is now blockchain today. Fast forward 10 years later, in 1950, Alan Turing, the same individual, wrote a paper called Computing Mechanics and Intelligence, and he prophesized about a future where one day machines would be indistinguishable from human intelligence. So right back at the origin layer, AI and blockchain were already commingling.
No, I agree. And we were having a small talk before, and we can even go a bit wild when we think about it. When you say that human intelligence and artificial intelligence will be indistinguishable, I think that AI now is a stepping stone that when combined to blockchain, Web3, metaverse, it will create something big in the future. So in our brief discussion in the beginning, if you imagine that today you have a real person concierge helping you book your tickets or your hotels and everything, but at a certain stage you might have an AI, an artificial intelligence, helping you out with all those things. And with that said, you will need blockchain for a transaction layer on that. You'll need Web3, you'll need decentralization, you'll need crypto as a token between AIs to pay each other in a sense. So it might sound a bit crazy, but there is a chance that in 10 years from now, we'll be living a simulated reality. You'll not know if you're going to interact with a person or with an AI. And I really believe that.
But one of the things that I find so fascinating, AI is technically scalable everything. But what it isn't is scalable truth. And I really think that's why it's so important that these things come together, because what blockchain gives you is scalable truth. It gives you trustless identity. It gives you providence. All things that will ultimately allow us to be able to trust AI with our identity, with our financial well-being. I think it's inevitable that these things must come together, and they need to come together in a way that scales, and ultimately a decentralized, borderless way is the best way to drive that scale, and that's ultimately what blockchain brings to the table.
Tiago, the future you described doesn't sound crazy to me at all. If you watch my show, I'm very bullish on the metaverse, and so I'm with you on that. Jaime, let's get down to the business. I want to talk about real use cases when it comes to incorporating AI into different Web3 builds. How are you thinking about AI from a Bitcoin mining perspective?
Yeah, so the company began as a Bitcoin miner, but we actively went down a path of diversification last year. We actually purchased 5 high-performance computing data centers, not related to Bitcoin mining or Bitcoin compute. But one of my thesis that drove that decision at the time was that we would start to see an increase in convergence between clustered compute. So really, a Bitcoin mine is a data center. It's a data center that that has purpose-built hardware, and really, its entire purpose is just to mine the Bitcoin blockchain. But that some of the practices that we use in developing those sites, I think over time will start to resemble the way we look at clustered compute for GPUs, which is ultimately what you need. You need GPU clusters to run AI models, and these things will come together over time. Right now, there's a massive disparity between how you build a data center to run AI workloads versus how you build a data center to run Bitcoin mining workloads. And inevitably, I think these things will converge over time. And really, I think that's what's so fascinating about Hut 8 and our position. We're really sitting at the intersection of both of these worlds as they start to come together.
From a payments perspective, how are you thinking about use cases and growing out your business using AI?
Well, I'll try to cite like 2 examples, right? So we come from a reality that is a bit different. Transfero operates in emerging markets, especially Brazil and Argentina. So if you think about AI as a tool, I believe it will enable more people to deliver minimum viable products or projects because they're being assisted by AI. So coding becomes easier. The talent pool that we can tap now can actually leverage on AI to deliver better deliverables, in a sense, right? So in terms of qualifying the workforce and refining the work that is done, AI can be a tool for that, especially Gen AI, right? Content creation, customer support, everything could be in a certain way potentialized by AI. On another note, when you're talking about Web3 applications, let's go back to 17, Decentraland, metaverse, right? It was the buzzword of 1 year ago.
Right.
If you want to build an universe, and what does universe means, right? Again, everything turned into one, universes, right? Metaverse, an alternate universe, right? Beyond the universe, meta. So if you want to create an experience that it goes beyond the concept of universe, you need to create plausibility in that metaverse. You want people to interact with avatars and feel that they are interacting with other human beings. You need to populate those metaverse spaces. And how can you do it better than with AI, right? The NPCs on a metaverse could be AI powered in order to deliver that kind of experience. And then if you go one level further, the economy between those AIs, right? If you have a chain of value there, where your avatar will go and play in a casino on the metaverse, you have the croupiers, you have all this service industry on the metaverse that needs to transact with each other, and crypto is the only layer that is enabled or can enable AI to transact with each other. So we were discussing before, like, if you think about it, an AI probably will never have a bank. They cannot go through the KYC of Bank of America. They cannot go through the onboarding process of a traditional bank as it is today. But an AI can have a USDC or USDT or a BRZ wallet.
Yep.
And they can sign transactions. So I see synergies there. For our business specifically, as I said, the applications would be more pedestrian in the beginning. So customer support, in a sense, being leveraged. But I see that if we build new applications, AI can be a game changer for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the key with the metaverse is it's borderless. There is no geography, so you can't build something that replicates how the systems are built today.
Exactly, and that's why metaverse, right? Beyond the universe that we believe in, that we live in. So one use case that I remember when the Decentraland launched, jurisdictions where gambling is not allowed, people could actually log into their Decentraland account, in a sense. They are just a wallet there, and actually gamble on the metaverse. You'll have a gambling experience sitting from a computer in a jurisdiction that does not allow that activity, but you're having that experience. So, as you said, it's borderless. It is what crypto was born to do, right?
Yeah.
Borderless, permissionless, don't trust, verify.
Exactly.
So to get, I think, to the long-term vision for the crypto industry, there are a bunch of challenges and roadblocks in the way, and one of those comes with regulation. We see that here in North America, crypto companies coming up against regulators. With AI, I think there's a parallel conversation happening, right? We saw Sam Altman in front of Congress asking regulators to regulate the industry. What part do regulators play in achieving this future that we're talking about today? And do you think, given what's happened in the crypto industry, that they can work fast enough so that we can build and achieve these things that both of you are speaking about?
Do you want to start?
Well, talking about regulation is always a tricky topic, right? Because at least from my point of view, North America in general are not delivering the regulators, I would say, the gold standard of regulation as we would imagine from a crypto perspective, right? You have other jurisdictions doing it better. For example, the UAE, Switzerland, even Latin America now. Brazil is leading that in the continent. And what we usually see when we talk about regulation and a very new topic is that there is a very big dissonance. There's a very big disparity between what regulators can actually understand and do and where the technology is. So I understand regulators talking about AI to prevent a scenario of a Skynet, where AI will control our lives and then turn against us and everything. It's a very noble cause, but do we understand that regulators have the tools and the skills or even the enforcement capabilities to tackle that problem? I'm not so sure, because with DeFi, they are already failing quite a lot. So I'm a bit skeptical to place my bets on the regulators in terms of their efficiency on regulating such complex topics at the moment.
Yeah, and I think one of the areas that we're really challenged in the crypto space has been a lack of understanding, a lack of education by regulators to really be able to bring out programs that are thoughtful and actually allow for innovation in the space. I think that's been a real challenge. So in the AI space, I would encourage people that are more active in that community to learn the lessons that crypto didn't get right and really be on the front foot in engaging directly, educating regulators, spending time really one-on-one at all levels, federal, provincial, state. Getting ahead on education will, I think, serve them well in the long term, and that's work that really, frankly, in crypto we're actively doing now, and we're playing catch up. And as a result of us playing catch up, we're seeing regulation that is harmful. We're seeing regulation by enforcement in many cases in the United States. So I think AI's got to really get ahead of the curve this time.
Tiago, given your perspective on AI regulation, were you surprised to see so many leaders in the AI space call for regulation and engage with regulators so early on?
Well, I believe that every entrepreneur wants some kind of safety, right? He wants to know what are the borders that he can operate within, right? So from that perspective, it doesn't surprise me at all. And I also believe that AI entrepreneurs are somewhat a different crowd from the hardcore crypto entrepreneurs. In the sense that a lot of the OG crypto people, they are always wary about state intervention. They are all about privacy, freedom, borderless money flows. And whereas AI entrepreneurs, in my view, they are more like normal tech people. Normal, not in a bad way, but like less ideological or less, dogmatic as the people from crypto. So it doesn't surprise me at all that they are trying to have this dialogue early on with regulators, because to be honest, maybe if that was done with crypto in the beginning, our landscape today would be way smoother and softer. But, crypto people, 2013, it was all the time fighting against that, right? So maybe the AI guys are being smarter in that sense. So, yeah.
Well, hopefully they're looking at what's happening in the U.S. right now and saying, we don't want that to happen to us.
Yes, exactly.
Jamie, in your opinion, what needs to happen for these two industries to come together? We're talking about introducing AI to Web3. We need to introduce more developers, I would say, to a lot of the crypto firms who are thinking about bringing this technology in. How do we get these industries to work together, especially because the crypto industry, we are very hard-headed and welcoming, but in a very unique way, let's say.
I like to think that we're evolving. There's certainly, I look at the world of crypto, there's Bitcoin, and then there are all other blockchains, and I don't know that Bitcoin and the Bitcoin ecosystem is going to be as directly connected or have the same type of relevancy in AI as the other blockchain initiatives will. I think very much we need stable coins, as we've talked about, but blockchain for identity, for privacy, I think that's all going to be incredibly relevant within the AI space. And from what I see in the crypto world, I actually see a ton of early collaboration already happening. I think naturally, blockchain developers are looking at how they can work with AI, how they can embed AI, how they can collaborate between the two industries. I don't see a great divide. I think it's happening organically already.
Tiago, the title of this talk is, I don't know the exact title off the top of my head. I know, sue me. But the question is, will AI bring us to the next crypto summer? Do you think it will?
Yeah, for sure, especially because it will bring awareness from people that in the beginning probably were like, crypto bad, AI good. They will end up knowing about both things at a certain point. Because as Jaime said, a lot of crypto projects are integrating some form of AI into their applications. I do believe that AI will bring a better efficiency, especially in DeFi markets, when you're talking about liquidity providing, automated market makers. There's a lot to go on decentralized exchanges in order to catch up to the centralized exchanges. And I believe that AI might play a big part on that, due to the capacity of analyzing an almost infinite amount of data points. And I also think that the pain points will be similar. The same way that some blockchains are facing scalability issues, a lot of AI-generated applications will be also facing scalability issues. Imagine that every car would be connected to a certain type of AI, and everyone is using it at the same time. How many data centers from Jaime they would have to buy in order to process?
So far.
They would have to, in order to process all that information and generate a response after that, right? So, yeah, the communities will converge, and it can lead us to a new crypto summer, especially when governments start printing again. And they will, and that will prime the crypto summer, that's for sure.
Well, and I think what captures a lot of headlines and fear around AI are things like deep fakes. How do you know the truth? It's the conversation about truth, and the answer is very much that's where blockchain comes in. That's where you get truth, you get identity, you get that trustless verification that solves some of those big fears that are surrounding the AI conversation right now.
It's like a perfect relationship. They fill each other's gaps, blockchain and AI. Jaime, you didn't really answer the question. Is AI going to bring us to the next crypto summer?
Well, look, Bitcoin's already having certainly a spring, but again, there's Bitcoin and there's everything else, and I think everything else is having a really tough time right now. A lot of that has to do with the lack of regulatory clarity and the enforcement actions that we're seeing in the U.S. But I think for the non-Bitcoin projects, this could absolutely be the catalyst that brings them to springtime.
Jaime, Tiago, thank you very much for having this conversation with me, and thank you to you all for listening to us. This is Jaime Leverton of Hut 8 Mining and Tiago Cesar of Transfero.
Thank you.